Hello, and welcome to Behind Open Banking, designing UX best practice to improve the conversion. I am Yasmin. I'm a product designer working with the onboarding and the dashboard experience inside Belvo. And this is my teammate, Adri.
Hello, everyone.
If you have any questions about our presentation, please feel free to reach out us after, and we'll be happy to be back with you with the answers. And also, for reference, in this presentation, we are only going to show the data and screenshots that are completely fake in a way that we protect the data from our customers. So, all right, let's start our presentation. So in the past, we didn't imagine that with a few lines of code, we could implement a full and complex API integration as the Open Finance. In fact, we didn't even imagine that Open Finance was going to be something possible. But now we have the possibility of the power of our own financial data, and with less than 7 lines of code, we can retrieve data and integrate APIs with our solutions. And with these, we have new challenges for design, especially because we need to design complex products, keeping a smooth experience. So how can we design products that are reliable? And in fact, how can we have design and technology that is evolving so fast and need to keep going and keep uh, moving as fast as the technology is moving? So the answer that we found was best practice. That is not a recipe, but that can guide us to design our products and help us make good decisions.
Yeah. So best practices, as Yasmin was saying, they are not a universal recipe. We can move to the next one. We need to take into account that every service and every product has their own challenges. So based on the size of our customers, based on the country, based on the type of transaction and on the use case, our best practices will probably be different. In our case, at Belvo, in the suite of products that we have and with the type of customers and end users that we have identified some of them in order to drive better conversion in all of our products. So the first thing that you need to do is select those affectations that you need to tackle. In our case, our best practices, the first of them that is really helping us is helping our customers to identify their real value. For example, you need to ask yourself, I am communicating enough my value proposition as a company. So if I am a lender, for example, and I am providing loans to end users, is there any type of value proposition for that loan? Am I quicker than a competitor? Am I having a type of loan that my competitors do not have? Those are some questions that you need to ask yourself in order to communicate that value proposition. So for the next one, we have education. So it's not difficult to understand that open banking is something really new in Latin America. So there's a gap of understanding on why should someone share their credentials with a third party. In the past, everyone was sharing their financial and fiscal information in a manual way. They were extracting some PDFs, they were sending it by email to people, and the analysis was done with that information, and the loan, in this case, was provided with that data. Now we have the ability to connect accounts and have triggered and automated and up-to-date information. And that is something that we need to communicate. We need to educate people on why they need to trust in this new system. It's just a matter of let them know that their data is from they own their data and that they can migrate and propagate other services with that data if they want to. So for the next one, and that also is happening, is obviously security. I mean, we are treating about financial and fiscal data. This is very sensitive for our customers, so we need to communicate to everyone that this information is really encrypted and that the information will only be accessed for the purpose of the connection. So you need to also ask yourself if the process that you have built is safe enough and if you are communicating that value. And the last one for this list is the transparency. So the difference between transparency and security is that the security is basically something intrinsic to that data. I mean, that data will not be accessed by XYZ actors. Transparency is what are you going to do with that data? If that data is going to be used in some models, communicating how those models will be populated with that data and how you will be using that data to provide the desired service is something that the user will value a lot. So ask yourself, am I being clear why I need that data? So how do we apply these best practices? So Yasmin will now talk about how she applies that in the dashboard.
Thank you, Adri. So we are going to deep dive a little bit in the challenge that we have here in our day-to-day. And as Adri said, I'm starting with the dashboard. And as he mentioned, we are applying the best practice not as a recipe. And so is the way that we're going to see that we apply as only guides for our work in the day-to-day. So what is a dashboard for API? Is really a complex application because it needs to handle unstructured goals and needs to handle non-linear workflows for the users. And in an average, our users, our customers, as we call it here at Belvo, are super specialized, has super specialized knowledge, such as developers and decision makers. So for such use case, our design needs to aim to deliver the user the capability to learn by doing, as Adri say, educate the users. And how we deliver these is through some onboarding, through some knowledge that we apply during and through the dashboard. We need also to provide them efficient methods for to be able to work. So not only by learning, by doing, but also giving them a documentation, different ways to code, different language for them to use and adopt the best efficient method that they need. And also, as a universal UX law, the user needs to track the actions and the process. They need to be able to see what they are doing and what data they are retrieving. So with our tables and notification across all the use of the dashboard, we are providing them this information and this response for them to keep moving forward and to keep moving with their product and with their experience, what they are building for the end users. But upon all these, upon all trust and value that we are delivering, this is only perceived 100% when the dashboard experience is also delivering security. Because especially for teams as ours that are aiming for financial data, we are in an environment that needs to mitigate risk and allow the user to have sure that the data are being well used. As Adri say, we need to be 100% how the data is being used. So it's important to design the experience, have the best practices focus also in security, not only in value and not only in education. And for the security, what we use in our dashboard is allowing our developers to have multiple and rotating API keys so they can change as they need it during the workflow. A unique environment for all the team members of a company use, we having the same information, having the profile security with 2FA and login methods. And by knowing that behind all of these, behind all the design, behind all the product, our team at Belvo is also having trainings, is also having security methods. So we deliver not only a product that will be secure for the end user, but also building for the beginning, having security in mind. And how we have all this learning? Because of research. Research is key for all these methods and for all the best practices that we have. Understanding the pain points and needs of our customer and decision makers, he used the dashboard and needs tools within the workflow that help them build the experience of their own. We need the research. The research combined with data and behavior analysis assertively indicates what the customer needs. So what they lack, what they are expecting from us, what they are expecting for our products, what they are expecting of our integrated solution team, everything is delivered by research and listening to our customers. And we observe at the end of our process for each feature that we are building that the user, with all of these in hands, are truly believing and relying in our data that we are showing and retrieving for them, and trusting the information and perceiving value. And they can trust the product that Belvo is delivering and build their own experience for their own end users. And this is our main goal: achieve more and more trust and value perceived. As mentioned before in our best practice, this is key for us. And but this is also the way that we deal with these for the dashboard, for the developers and the decision makers. And now Adri will cover with you how we handle the best practice for the end users of our customers.
Yeah, thank you, Yasmin. So yeah, there's a huge difference between the DevX and the UX. Yasmin was saying that the main personas that she's covering are decision makers and developers for the dashboard. That means that she's covering customers. So the UX, it's basically covering the needs for the whole population of Latin America, end users, people that are demanding services for the fintech, lenders, personal finances, KYCs, etc. So basically, we need to understand the UX of Belvo as a way of building something that people can trust in order to make them comfortable to unlock their data and share it. If we achieve that goal, we will unlock the open banking in Latin America. So how do we do this? Okay. So first of all, we have a terminology for you to understand here, is that a link, it's something that we consider as a connection between the data from an end user in a bank and the service of a product of one of our customers. That relation, that link, that way of passing information is what we call a link. So the way of creating as much links as possible is to apply all these learnings that we have, all these best practices, in order to unlock and empower users to share their credentials. So the UX domain in our product for the widget is divided in 3 steps. So our widget is a layer that we put in top of our API, and that layer is a layer of UI that end users access in order to put the credentials and then connect to the API to then let the customer retrieve all that information. So that's a part of the experience of the UX. But before the widget, there's something really important that it's called a pre-link, and this is the way we prepare the end users to understand where is gonna come, what is the widget, why is something appearing that will demand them to input the credentials. So if we talk about the pre-link as the way of preparing the customer, and the link and the widget as a way to connect the credentials, then we have the post link that is just informing people on how the information that we have retrieved is gonna be used. So for the pre-link, the main core values that we are using are communicating the return of investment of the product. As we were saying at the beginning, we need people to understand why this product is valuable for them in order to drive them into the connection. We need to educate them that what they are going to do, it's something trustful and it's something normal in the frame of the open finance. And we need them to understand that the process will be completely secure. So, for example, a way of doing this, if a product has multiple ways of connecting, of having information, a manual way, like for example, uploading some PDFs or uploading some Excels, etc. There is a new way that is the one that Belvo provides, that is the automatic one. So a way of like communicating this ROI and educating people will be like putting in a way one versus the other. So putting the automatic way as a faster, secure, a more valuable way rather than the manual. So after we have prepared the user for this connection, then we have the widget, our UI layer in top of the API. So here we have multiple values. Some difference are transparency, security, and guidance. So we need to inform that the information that we are going to retrieve is going to be used only in some in a specific frame. Like for example, no one will be able to edit or make money movements. No one will access those credentials. And also very important is we need to specify people which credentials they need to use in order to connect. There are lots of banks in Latin America, and people normally have more than one banking account, and some of them are really sporadic. We need at some times to remember them which type of information they need to put and where to find it. And then the post link, really important. In order to make experiments, we need to understand how the previous funnel, the pre-link and the widget part, have been working. So once we understand all the metrics that the widget of Belvo is providing, and we understand the experience from the pre-link, then we can start making different experiments to try to increase that conversion. So providing a clear way to users of how this data is being used, and then measuring the way of these of how the previous steps have gone, will allow us to make iterations and increase our conversion also.
So what is the outcomes that we have with all these best practices applied with our products? So not only our design efforts are delivering more and more value to our customers and the end user, we also are connecting a huge experience from the API to the end user data and providing a tool that for high performance teams and high performance end users that can rely on the data and features that in the workflows in the day-to-day, and also they are allowing these teams to decrease the amount of tools in the pipeline, in the workflows, and in the day-to-day. So we are not only delighting our users with a good interface, but also with an experience and a product that they will know that how to use, how to trust, and how to perceive value, and how to feel secure. So this is something that for us as a design team at Belvo is super important in the end of the day. Thank you for being here with us today. Hope that you find some value. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.